on this edition of the Center of It All. We'll take you to the 40th Annual Antique Machinery Show in Center Hall. Need some creative fun? We'll highlight a new business in Bellefonte that just might be what you're looking for. And Mel's got a great recipe perfect for your next tailgate party. These stories and more coming up next on the Center of It All. Welcome to the Center of It All. And our first story today, are you in need of a creative outlet or just something fun to do on a Monday night? Our Sarah Lagerman has the place for you.
Since October of 2013, Indigo Wren's Nest Wellness Center has been supplying the local area with a variety of holistic remedies.
We are a collection of independently owned and operated businesses, and each business offers different holistic wellness practices and modalities.
Director Beth Whitman got into the wellness business after a traumatic experience in her own life.
I got involved with Reiki and hypnosis after a car accident, and I left the corporate world a little over 2 years ago and decided to pursue this full-time because it had such a profound impact on me.
Located in downtown Bellefonte, Indigo is a nest of 9 individual businesses, including Kalina's Studio, that opened last month.
They range from chiropractic, nutrition, yoga, massage, and Kalina's edition of the art studio rounds us out very nicely.
Kalina Rambowski is a local artist looking to get the community involved in art. She got the opportunity to join Indigo and created an art class known as Creative Monday Night.
Creative Monday Night is a 10-year dream of mine, is to host a community space to create artwork. I have been an artist for over 10 years and went through a dormant time, and now I've opened the studio in August, and my first goal was to get the community involved in some simple artwork of painting and journaling, writing, any of those things.
Teresa Lyons, who owns Lyons Heart Massage inside Indigo, has been attending Creative Monday Night since the studio opened.
I've really met a lot of really, really nice people, very creative people with all different experience levels. Drawing and writing and painting, and it's been a really, really good sense of community.
Lyons Heart Massage is partnering with Kalina's Studio to enhance the creative experience.
As of next week, I'll be offering some free massage, chair massages for the students of the class, just to promote relaxation and help Kalina bring out the creative side.
Kalina's Studio is open to beginners and experienced artists looking for a creative space.
Anyone who does artwork every day of their life, or someone who's like, oh, I'm just not creative and I want to try something new.
And Whitman believes expressing creativity is a main component of human wellness.
It works beautifully to have a creative outlet that allows us to visually see as we release and we move through the process, and to express our creativity.
Every Monday night, Kalina's Studio is opened, and the cost is just $5 per class. If you are interested in Kalina's art class or more information on Indigo Wren's Nest, just log on to indigowrensnest.com.
Certainly looks like a great time, Sarah. The Nittany Antique Machinery Association held their fall show recently, and the center of it all was there.
This year marks the 40th anniversary of the Nittany Antique Machinery Association's fall show. Held the first weekend after Labor Day, the show offers classic machinery, various craft and food vendors, as well as a flea market.
We have a flea market, a giant flea market, lots and lots of time. You can, the fellas usually send their wives over there with a bundle of money, and they stay over here at the tractors. We're expecting probably 500-600 or more tractors of various size, shapes, and colors. We have a couple teams of auction, which will be here. We have a museum where they can look at some of the old stuff we have, and we also have a lot of old equipment that belongs to the association here that we have on display.
The Nittany Antique Machinery Association was formed in 1975 by Dick Markle and Russell Mark. Today the association is led by President Ken Clauser, who has sat on the board of directors from 2004 to 2006.
Okay, there was a couple older fellas that liked to preserve the old equipment, and they had some old stuff that was old already then, and they wanted to have a show to show it off, and they both had farms, but they decided to have it at Penn's Cave for whatever reason, and it's just grown and grown and grown.
The association also holds a spring show the weekend of Memorial Day, known as the Spring Gas Up.
Spring show, we call it the Spring Gas Up. We usually have a smaller show, less tractors, and we have a big sale on Saturday of the spring show, which takes a lot of people out of the show, and it's sort of a exchange day for all those collectors and so forth. You might find the part you need for your old tractor. You might find a part you didn't need and buy it anyways.
The Antique Machinery Show appeals to people of all ages and interests. Aside from the antiques and entertainment, there were local craft vendors selling their goods. Joe Luckenbill, also known as Chainsaw Joe, was there carving wood sculptures for the crowd.
We carve at the spring show and at the fall show. This is our second year here, so hope to be back for a third.
Chainsaw Joe transforms logs into extraordinary sculptures, everything from seasonal pieces to lawn gnomes and even the Penn State Nittany Lion.
I always drew, painted, clay, pottery, but yeah, so chainsaw is just a different media.
Joe has been an artist for several years, selling his products at local shows and festivals. To check out more of Joe's art, visit Joe Luckenbill on Facebook. The 2015 spring and fall shows are already in the planning stages with the same great traditions. Visit nittnyantique.org for upcoming show dates, information, and history on the association.
The Antique Machinery Show is a perfect event for the entire family. And coming up next, we're going to take a look at Central Pennsylvania's rural heritage. Welcome back to the center of it all. You know, with our busy and hectic lifestyles, it is easy to forget just how beautiful Central Pennsylvania is. We caught up with Mary Sorensen, the Executive Director of the Central Pennsylvania Historical Society, to talk about their latest exhibit.
The Center County Historical Society was founded in 1904 by a group of history-minded citizens wishing to preserve the rich history of our county. Executive Director Mary Sorensen took me back to when the Society received the building for their present-day headquarters.
The Society received the Center Furnace Mansion, where we're at, in 1978, and then went on to do capital fundraising to restore the mansion to its 19th century glory when Moses and Mary Irvin Thompson lived here with their family. And Moses Thompson was the iron master at Center Furnace, and so this is the period of time that the Society chose to restore the mansion to.
The Historical Society is a community and volunteer-based educational organization that strives to enrich the lives of the public by telling the story of the county's unique past. The exhibit, running now through November 14th, promotes the preservation of farmland through the visual arts.
The current exhibit is called Rural Landscapes, and this is really an exhibit about to really promote appreciation for our beautiful Center County rural history and central Pennsylvania rural history, truly. The artists that have artwork in this exhibit are the farmland preservation artists of central Pennsylvania. The proceeds of this particular exhibit, because this is an exhibit but it's also an art show, go to the Center County Farmland Trust and the Art Alliance of Central Pennsylvania and the Center County Historical Society. And so whenever the farmland preservation artists do an exhibit like this, part of the proceeds go to the host site, which is lovely.
Formed in 2005, the Farmland Preservation Artists are a group of 16 individuals dedicated to promoting the natural beauty of central Pennsylvania.
They're wonderful artists from all around this area and in central Pennsylvania, and it's a variety of mediums from pastel to watercolor to oil and into photography and everything in between. It's a beautiful representation.
The Historical Society's mission is to renew the connection between Center County residents and their past.
Well, I think it's very important to know your local history. At least begin to learn about it, because it gives you a better awareness of where you live. I always say that our historic sites in this area are really what bring a sense of place to the community and to the county, And without them, you know, we really are looking like every other community. But when we have places like the Center Furnace Mansion and the Boalsburg Heritage Museum, the Bellefonte Historical Museum and Pennsylvania Room are wonderful treasures and resources that I think we have to embrace and keep for generations to come.
The Center County Historical Society works with local, regional, and state organizations to help preserve the area's historic, cultural, and natural resources. If you haven't got a chance to see this exhibit, it runs now through November 14th.
Our Andrew Callista recently made the trip to Ireland for the Croke Park Classic, and here are some sights and sounds from Dublin.
Is there any fan base that travels better than Penn State? And no, Notre Dame Subway alumni doesn't count. Over 15,000 at Croke Park for the game, from all corners of the globe.
I'm Steve from Bangkok, Thailand.
I'm Tom from Perth, Western Australia.
I'm Dave from Houston, Texas.
Well, Penn State victory would definitely be the best part, but really just catching up with old friends and making new friends. That's what it's all about.
What a time they had. From Waterford to the Cliffs of Moher, Lion fans were everywhere. Dublin was rocking for the pep rally Friday, and Penn Staters rocked the pubs in the morning. Did you know Dublin has a castle? And for fans, Sam Ficken is king. Aren't you glad he had a business class seat on the flight over? And to cap my week off, I departed from gate 409.
You can catch Andrew and the rest of the guys on the Blue White Tailgate Show on Friday nights following high school football. Speaking of football, when we come back, Melanie Prosciutti has a recipe perfect for your next tailgate party. Developing the menu for your next tailgate party can be an extremely daunting task, but you never go wrong if you use one of Mel's recipes. And Mel has a recipe this week guaranteed to please the most finicky football fan.
Is that the blue band I hear practicing out in the distance? Of course it is. And from the moment I hear that first drum beat and the trumpet blow, I know it's time to start planning my first tailgate. And that includes checking my equipment and coming up with a menu. But my tailgate family made that easy for me. They told me they want my camp stove chicken fajitas. Let's get started. Practice makes perfect, and I've been tailgating for so many years now, I've got it down to a science. Due to rule changes, of course, my little hibachi turned into a stovetop gas grill, and this baby generates more heat than most of the men's big monster grills. And as for my little camp stove, well, that turned into a real deal gas burner. All I have to do is pack my box of ingredients, a few utensils, a pot or a pan, and I can tailgate anywhere, anytime. This one little butane cartridge is going to give me an hour of restaurant quality heat. With one click, I'm going to heat 6 tablespoons of corn oil in the bottom of my skillet, and I'm going to add 2 pounds of chopped bite-sized pieces. I'm using chicken fillets, chicken breasts will work just fine. And my spice blend for fajitas, which is chili powder and cumin and Mexican oregano and cayenne pepper and salt. And we're going to cook this just till the chicken is all coated in the spices. It's not going to be cooked through. Just takes me a minute or two to do this. And what's fun about doing this at the tailgate is everybody stands around my table no matter what I'm doing. Everybody at tailgate wants to watch the food being cooked live. That's half the fun of tailgate. Hey, it's like cooking on the Food Network. Okay, the spices are kind of all around. Now I'm going to add about 1 pound of sliced onions. You can't have fajitas without onions. I'm going to turn my heat down. So you can tell how hot this is. You can just see that this is restaurant quality heat. I'm just going to turn this down to medium. And we're going to continue to simmer. Yeah, you got to keep the onions from flying around too at the stadium. I'm just going to continue to simmer this until the onions start to soften. And this is going to take about 5 minutes. This has been simmering for about 9 or 10 minutes. You can see my chicken is still not cooked through. It's a little pink in the center. The onions have lost about half their volume. My cameraman director just said this smells awesome and he wants me to get this cooked really fast. So I'm going to add my green peppers and red bell peppers, about 8 ounces each. I'm going to stir these in and I'm going to let these cook for about 8 or 9 minutes until they're soft but still crunch tender. And then we're going to wrap our fajitas, serve up our condiments, and it's going to be time to eat. My chicken is perfectly cooked through. My peppers are still crunch tender. I can smell all those spices. I'm going to turn this down really low. Actually, I'm just going to turn it off. And I'm going to give it a squirt with juice. This is classic fajita style of an entire lime. And it's got to be fresh lime. Don't go anywhere with bottled lime juice for this recipe. I'm going to take the lids, I'm going to wipe my hands first with my roll paper towels, which I brought in my box of ingredients. I'm going to take my condiments, and today I'm serving my fajitas with some rice that I steamed this morning, some refried beans. Of course, we need salsa, guacamole, and some flour tortillas. It's time to call everybody to the table and eat. One of the best things about this meal, besides how it tastes, is that everybody gets to make their fajitas just the way they like them. Start with the flour tortilla. I spread just a little bit of refried beans on the bottom. I'm putting some rice in mine, and I simmered my rice with some red pepper flakes and a little bit of saffron to give it a little bit of spice and color. Add some chicken mixture. Make sure you get some of those beautiful juices going down in there too, and don't forget the vegetables. Flip her over to the side. I'm going to have some salsa and some guacamole. Pennsylvania is a scenic, beautiful place to live all year round. But nothing is more beautiful than a sunny, crisp, cool fall day at Beaver Stadium. Never miss an opportunity to tailgate. We are. And for this and all of my recipes, just go to my website.
For this and all of Mel's recipes, log on to kitchenencounters.typepad.com. When we come back, we're going to show you how to keep the kids healthy all school year long. Welcome back to the center of it all. With the start of the new school year, the threat of germs and viruses is definitely on the rise. And the folks from the Cleveland Clinic have some great tips to keep you and the kids healthy all year long.
A mysterious virus continues to spread across the United States. It's making many children sick and even hospitalizing some. It's called the enterovirus D68 and has already affected more than 1,000 children in 10 different states. Dr. Giovanni Piedmont is a pediatric pulmonologist at Cleveland Clinic Children. He says the virus is characterized by flu-like symptoms, which in most cases can be managed at home.
But if it becomes something that, with a significant cough, if there is a temperature, and looks like child is particularly if the child is having trouble breathing, definitely, in my personal opinion, they should contact the pediatrician's office.
This particular type of enterovirus is uncommon, but it is not new. It was first identified in the 1960s. It spreads like the common cold, coughing, sneezing, or crossing paths with people and things already infected with the virus. There is no treatment for the virus and no antiviral medications, but no cases have become fatal. Experts think the virus may be spreading more rapidly now that school is back in session. Dr. Piedmont says your child's best chance at decreasing the risk of contracting the enterovirus D68 is to practice good hand hygiene.
Washing hands or disinfecting hands is gonna reduce the chance of getting infected.
Dr. Piedmont also says kids with asthma or other respiratory problems may run the risk of being hospitalized.
Well, this puts a lid on another edition of The Center of It All. But don't forget to check us out on YouTube and like us on Facebook. Have a great day, everyone.